Hello, I'm Tommy Baldwin. Played 239 games for Chelsea and scored 92 goals. So don't forget to subscribe to
Welcome to another SW6 transfer rumours. Frank Lampard, as we've said before, is a lot of chat, a lot of differences of opinions as to how he's going to run things, etc. A lot of people putting their pennies worth in. Some people saying he hasn't got the experience. A lot of people say it's the right choice at the right time. And let's deal with first and foremost the Sun. They're basically saying that Chelsea are going to go down an Ajax Bayern route, where almost you're creating these the youngsters come in and you're creating these prototypes where they almost go through a process. So that when they come out the other end, they all the players from a young age all playing in a very similar way, similar style, similar pattern. Exactly what Abramovich has been after, a blueprint, a Chelsea way. Rather excites me, hence the reason why they're bringing in experienced people behind Frank Lampard, such as Claude Makelele. A lot of talk about Michael Ballack, Tori Andre Flo, as we know, is there. We've got Jody Morris, possibly bringing in, Shay Gibbons, another one. I know he's not Chelsea, but he's an experienced coach. Petr Cech and possibly Ashley Cole. You know, Didier Drogba, John Terry to come back. You can see what they're trying to do now, the echelons of success over that 20-year, 10, 15, 20-year period of time, bringing that all the way through, and it completely makes sense. And it is the sort of thing that Bayern Munich do, for sure, and Ajax, and they've got these young players all playing in this, sort of free-flowing way, and they're almost creating the perfect prototype, and maybe that's the way to go. It's definitely exciting. They're talking also about Frank. His deal's a 3-year deal, 16.5 million, which doesn't make him the most expensively paid manager out there. Just to give you an idea, Guardiola's top of the tree, 20 million a year. 20 million a year he gets for managing Manchester City, way out in the lead he is. Followed by Pochettino at Spurs, 8.5 million. Jurgen Klopp at Liverpool, 7.5. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, 7.5. That's a lot of money, isn't it, really? Manuel Pellegrini at West Ham, 7 million a year as well. And then you got Emery at Arsenal on 6 million. And then Frank, 5.5. Just behind him, just to give you an idea, Brendan Rodgers at Leicester. So he's in that echelons of high paid managers, but he's not getting top dollar. Certainly not getting Guardiola's salary. But then he shouldn't. But it's still extremely good. It's not bad, is it? Let's put it like that. I like the way they're going with this. If that's the way, then for me, I just love the whole idea. I think it's really exciting if we can get those players coming in at a young age, real young age, and then develop them all the way through. Almost like an A to Z scenario where, like, you do your job, over to you, but the continuity is the same, the system's the same, the ideology, the mindset, the psychology behind it all, the sciences, For me, it completely and utterly makes sense, and Ajax have always had that system, and so have Bayern Munich, and it's proved successful, and you've got to say those two clubs, they can't, even though Bayern's a massive name, they can't compete with the likes of Manchester City. I don't think we can. So it completely makes sense, So if that is the case, then I'm more than happy with that. Now, staying on a similar theme, obviously, with Frank Lampard in the managerial scenario, let's move on to the Express. Now, the Express are earmarking 5 loanees, 5 players that they want Lampard to bring back into the fold and work with them, and with some of them we paid a lot of money out, some of them have got massive potential, and the 5 players that they've earmarked are as follows. 1, Alvaro Morata. That would be obviously the cut short the arrangement that we had with Atletico. I never thought we'd see him back. But let's be honest, we paid top dollar for Morata. Big fee we paid, Real Madrid for him. And you got to say, there was a class act there somewhere. If anyone can get the best out of him, I'm sure Frank could. I'm sure Didier Drogba can work on the mindset, because I always felt it was more of a psychological thing with him. But he's one of them. Timmy Bakayoko, again, another player. I'm sure Claude Makelele could do some work with him, for sure. And he's a player that's, at times really impressive. He's definitely got a great engine. He can move up and down that pitch. The other one's Fikayo Tomori, which is the player that Frank's worked with at Derby, isn't it? And definitely one of the players that no doubt he'll be bringing. Along with the other one, which is the fourth name, which is Mason Mount. Fantastic season at Derby, great player. And last but no means least, which is a bit of a shock, this one, to be fair, is Michy Batshuayi. What that quite means with regards to Tammy Abraham, I'm not so sure. And then of course we've got Giroud there as well. If we were to bring Tammy back, which that's what he wants to do, that would mean we would have 4 strikers. Too many? I don't know. But that's what the Express are going with. They'll be looking for Frank to work with those 5. What do you think about that, guys? Do you agree with that? Are they 5 players that you would like to see, at Chelsea? And do you think Frank would get the best out of them? Let us know down below. Other news, and obviously on the same subject, as I say, everything is pretty much centralised around Frank, just different versions of the conversations that have gone on. You have to take out of it what you will. But Derby seem to have accepted the situation now. They've gone in for a former player of theirs, Darren Moore. If you remember, he was the manager at West Bromwich Albion. He got obviously dismissed, but it was part of their 2006-07 side, part of the Reggae Boys. That's the man that they seem to be targeting with regards to replacing Frank Lampard once he becomes manager of Chelsea. Staying with the Express, basically also saying too is that his first job is to concentrate on the new contracts of three players. One is Ruben Loftus-Cheek, the other one is Mason Mount, and the other one is Reece James. These deals do need to be wrapped up, but Christensen, he's been remarking on how he wants to tie up a deal now. There's Callum Hudson-Odoi, as I say, he was on the cusp of, well, it was linked with Bayern Munich, looked like he was going to Bayern Munich, played some games, got injured, then said he wanted to stay in and sign a new contract. Now he's wavering a bit, so there's another one. And of course Willian, we still haven't tied that one up yet. Also with regards to Frank, John Terry has come out and made some comments, really nice comments as it goes. Not surprising at all this, but he goes on to say that Lamps is a legend and now it's the right time for him to be coming home. Roman is a successful businessman and he's so demanding, but so is Frank, so they kind of, it fits, they both understand each other. Also John Terry thinks that the transfer ban won't affect anything because of Frank's knowledge of the setup at youth level, and that Frank will welcome the responsibility to make Chelsea more competitive and provide stability, which the club has certainly been lacking. I think that's right, because we haven't had that stability one, and this could be it. Some people thought that when Jose came back for a second time, this was going to be our stable period. It didn't work out. And then, of course, Antonio Conte, everyone thought after that first season this was going to be something that was going to last for a while. It didn't work out. And perhaps Maurizio Sarri, this was going to be a time where we were actually going to go in a different direction, different philosophy. Certainly try and get the way we played, the Chelsea way, and get that blueprint and get the philosophy right and the stability right at the same time by using our youth players too. So maybe this is the moment, and of course he's one of our own, so why not? Right, enough of Frank then. Let's just go on with the other bits of information. As I say, not a lot out there, as I say. I think it's all going to be about getting the manager sorted first, and then hopefully we should be able to see players moving out, I guess, and hopefully players moving in. Or at least getting to see these youngsters, you know, sort of coming back and coming. The loan situation, I think, more than anything. Everton seem to have broken their silence with regards to Kurt Zuma. They're making noises, they want him. He's made noises too by saying that he'd prefer to stay in Merseyside. Obviously, he loves Chelsea and, you know, and everything else, but he's looking at himself and his own opportunities. We are blessed with an abundance of centre-halves at Chelsea, that's for sure. So you can't say that he's a dead cert, although he'd be one of them. And we all know he's a quality football player. And we paid a fair old bit of money for him, to be fair, didn't we? You know, he's young still, 24 years of age. But now, after they've completed a deal for, is it Andre Gomez, they're now looking to shore this one up. And I could possibly see him being sold, which again, as I said before, means we've got more money to spend. But do we want to keep Zuma? As I say, let us know what you think down there below, guys. But they have broke their silence, Everton now, so they are looking to talk to Chelsea and get the negotiations. As we said in the last video, Mateo Kovacic, there is timescale on whether to do a deal or not on that. 50 million euros, 44 million English pounds is the price, and we've got to make that by the end of this particular month. After that, the deal is no longer on offer, and it seems as though, from what I'm reading everywhere, most of the papers, that we are leaning now towards taking up that option, and that he will be a Chelsea player, but it's not confirmed yet. But that definitely seems to be the case. It's rather interesting. In the last video, the comments, it was very varied. A lot of people just, it was too much money. You know, we got good cover there with Ruben and Ross Barkley, etc. But what do you think about that, guys? It does seem now as though we may be going to be taking up that option and spending a bit of that money that we have in the bank. Other news then, guys, and Jay Da Silva, he's signed for Bristol City. He was there last season on loan. 21-year-old, 32 games he played from last season, in the 18-19 season. And the Robins have exercised their option to buy, and they have. It's for an undisclosed fee. I'm not sure what it is, but so we again we are starting to make some decisions. But Jay Da Silva, he's no longer a Chelsea player, and he's joined Bristol City. And what's rather interesting about all of that, I guess, is the U-turn of a lot of young players now weighing up their options, especially with regards to Frank, because, you know, they're probably looking at that thinking, you know, he knows us, you know, we've got a chance here, you know, to establish ourselves, and we don't know how he's going to set up, that's for sure, but we do feel if anyone's going to get behind the youth, it's going to be Frank. And we know that Tammy Abraham has definitely decided to come back and fight for that position. He feels the time is right. As I say, with regards to Michi, if he was to come back, and Alvaro Morata, as well as Olivier Giroud, would he still be thinking that way? But certainly that's what he's come out with. But another one is Juan Familio Castillo, who's a 19-year-old winger, and basically he's out of contract, and he has admitted that he would like to stay because of the new managerial changes. So it is all positive, guys. You know, it's very, very positive. As I say, nothing concrete as of yet when you look at other clubs that are all involved with actual player purchases and stuff like that. We know we're not involved in that because of this bloody transfer embargo. And it is frustrating, really, really frustrating. And we know, really, we're waiting for that news confirming Frank as a manager. And then, obviously, once that's all done, then juggling the pack of our incredible array of talent that we got out there. 41 players that, you know, I'm sure some of those can come back and turn us into a deeper squad. I felt we've been too light in terms of our squad. The amount of players that we have, you know, when you see us on a match day, you look at the back of the programme and you look at their team and our team, and we always stop short and they're still going down the page. And that's, I don't think we've ever really recovered from what Jose Mourinho done on his second spell. You know, we certainly cleared the decks then, 250 million pounds worth of players out. A lot of those absolute class as well, which was ridiculous. But he likes a small squad, we know that. But I think we need to beef it up, and so we're just waiting now, guys. It's, I say, it's frustrating, but that's the information so far today. Once again, thank you for watching and supporting Chelsea SW6. If you're watching for the first time, please press the old subscribe button. Getting close to 9,000 now, guys, so it's really, really chuffed for that. It'd be great to get to 10,000, so please share as much as you possibly can, and I'll speak to you soon. And if anything, you know, comes out, it's big news and that, I'll put another one out, and keep the blue flag flying high. Speak to you soon, guys.